Alright, welcome back to Sosnovka NOT. Hey, yes, you can see we're ploughing. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do these fields for a while, but I had a little thought. This is probably the best year to do them during the grain season. We're not going to need so much hay or grass this year as our animals are going to be at a minimum. Well, we know we've got a lot of sheep, it is true, and we're going to need quite a bit of hay from there. We haven't got many cattle as yet, we only got 40, so we should get away with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plough and seed this one today. I'm going to seed then, because we're going to have to cultivate it. Now, I've done quite a bit of off screen, but I had hell of a lot of fun with, I think it was the Better Film mod yet again. I was causing everything to bounce. I'd taken that out and we seemed to be okay. What was happening, we just come back. The plough was leaping up in the air regularly at regular intervals. And I actually got a lot of equipment down there I don't actually want, and I got to send one of these back to go and get the cultivators yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plough this one now and I'll get back. What I'm going to do before we do anything else, I'm just going to put the brake on here. I'm just going to move this out of here. In fact, I think what we do, we just run back now and go and get the cultivator, and oops. Hit the right button, why don't you? And I'm going to take the steer back with me and all. We don't want both of those down here. Yeah, we'll probably get left miles behind. I hope I've got to follow me on there. Huh. Oh yes, we have. Yes. Should be on there now. We'll soon find out. Coming in on this track to the wrong side, of course. I don't know why I have got it on there. Have I? Is it moving? Oh yes, it is moving slowly. This is going to be fun coming out of here, and I better have some lights on, and I will put beacons on for this. That'll be alright. And we'll come down on the field, at less we've got to worry about the traffic. Fine, that can follow me, and I'll still be on me at the moment. We just park the steer up over on the farm, and I'll go and get the cultivator with this. Yes, it's something I'd had wired, got rid of that big in-game cultivator because that was bouncing, and now realised it wasn't the cultivator or the terrain or anything else. And I'd done a lot of stuff. I took the modified ground response out because I thought that was that. Oh, I had all kinds of issues. I was right glad when I'd finished. I've done a bit more than I meant to on that ploughing, but there. I actually bought another ploughing in-game ploughing that was doing exactly the same. I don't think I've figured the money out right as yet, so we just have to go with what we've got here. I've still got that overloader out. Better. Well, we need this anyway, so what we do is we stop this here. I don't know. Arm brake, go and grab hold of this, take it off, follow me. Oh, wrong one, that one. Can't remember why I took this down in there, but we've got this with seed in it, and this, I don't really want that there. Shouldn't really be leaving that out in the open like this. I see it's going to get wet, and I don't think there's a cover on this one. I haven't found out a key for it anyway. I don't know if we're even lined up there. I'll soon find out. Oh, yeah, we are. No need to put a PTO on. Oh, shut up. Right. Just want somewhere just to park, so I might just park it in the bale shed over here, just for now. Let's get over before that one gets here, just to get it out of the rain. This is a bale destroyer, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. You have to be a bit careful on. A lot of the rain still comes through the roof, and one day I have this dream that Johns will actually fix the roofs. Apparently Cat on Crops has got the roofs fixed, but that we will have to see later. I'm just trying to line myself up. Right, this time. In reality, because I wouldn't have all this equipment going down to do one simple job like we're doing, but there. And it is a simple job. And how about a forward? Or as my old mate Disco says, a forwardly direction. That's what I need to clean up again fairly soon. Never ending job with the animals, but I'm not going to put the animal table manners mod in. I'm going to leave the work that we have to do. Now I'm hoping now that that field will be okay. We've had fun and games. That's the one we got rid of the soil because it just wasn't growing and the temperatures weren't right. And I decided rather than carry on with it, we'll shove it back in the ground and start again. That's our cedar is also down here. Right, turn that off, put that on there, turn the lights off, and I'm going to whip across because I don't really fancy messing about with this. I think we should get the plough done there. I'll clean those ends up later. I hope we're not putting that too close to the edge when we're dropping that plough in. I'm doing this freehand because I can. I'm just going to have a check. I'm going to stop now because I'm getting too close to missing something. Better. The idea of ploughing is we can now fertilise this. Was it defined as a meadow we can't, defined as a field we can, and we miss some there. Not that it really matters if we do miss some, because it's still only going to be grass. We're not going to go to anything clever, which is my first well because I'm not that clever. But it's another way to get rid of the slurry, and I can see we're going to get a lot of slurry. So you know, last time we spent some time selling some. But rather than sell it, we might as well shove it onto the ground. And it will save money on fertilisers, because slurry is going to be cheaper for us than fertiliser. and I do believe I did buy the big slurry dribble tank, so I'm not using splash plates or anything else, but I'm going to come in and just going to clean these bits up here I missed, I think. Now do those later. There's no real reason to do them anyway, because there's not the little bit that won't get fertilised isn't going to make any difference at all in the long run, except for neatness. As far as I know, I don't actually suffer from OCD, so I suffer from a lot of things, but not OCD. Well, I have to remember to sit up straight. I know it looks like the tractor's always going to one side. There's one thing I found with these chisel plows, that won't run. The engines won't run very well at a constant revs with these on. Well, they are actually, or some of them, not some of it this one, but quite a few of them are actually converted subsoilers. I think this one may be a small chisel plow, but they are a godsend for doing jobs like this. I'm not a... Let's lift it up before we get out of it. I like the ordinary inline plows, but they do take so long. I'm going to clear this end of us just to say we've done it. One thing I've noticed with Giant's ground response, it does kick things about a lot more than the Real Terrain mod did on the FS15 OEB's Real Terrain mod. I think it's actually a superior mod, but you can't have everything. This works, but and for a freebie from Giants, I probably can't complain too. Well, we can complain, we will. I possibly should have had the park truck on this rather than the JCB. This is a heavy duty job, and it doesn't help that it's raining and we've got wet crops, so we couldn't actually do any cutting of grass anyway. I'm going to take another end out here because I think I'm a bit too close to this. Take a second pass. And we're going to have grave doubts about the Better Film mod if you use it with anything else. No, and I want to use Gearbox mod. I'm starting to use more realistic on stuff, and hopefully by the time you see this I should have released my first video using more realistic and more realistic seasons all together in one. On one map, and that is a brand spanking new map. At the time of recording it's not out. I think it will be out fairly soon. It's a map that is close to my heart, but I'm not going to say any more about it than that. If you watch Disco, you will know what map it is. Like Disco, I have been given an early copy. I've been doing a little bit of testing on it. Should really put multi-terrain on here. It doesn't look like it's got it, but I did see how Disco done it, but I'm not certain. I'm playing about enough with maps in my restricted capacity at the moment. I was putting soil mod, not soil mod, putting seasons mod on to put the snow masks in. That's given me enough headaches without adding to them. I think what we will do is come up one side and down the other here now, because it's going to be easier, I think. Right, Big Bud is out. At the time of recording this, that'll give you some idea when I'm recording. Big Bud, I've just finished downloading. I haven't even looked at it yet. I am gonna clear some of this up. So I'll go back the other side and just clear some of this up. Said I wasn't going to, but then again, does anybody ever believe me now? I'm like the boy who's cried wolf. No one believes me anymore, and with good reason. Yes, I don't think the ground responds as well, but it could be some of the other things I got in there, like seasons, and probably have an effect on it. The seasons does do some work on the grip and the friction of the vehicles. And as you have already heard, and it's now official, it's coming out for the Mod Hub contest. Mod Hub for the for Giants mod contest. And I'll be very surprised what I've seen of it and how much I'm enjoying using it. If it doesn't win, it's a real travesty. This, folks, is a real game changer. So if they should make it in time for the contest, please vote for it, because this is so good. They're working, I know at the moment, they're mainly bug hunting and doing very slight tweaks, and one of the ones they're tweaking is trying to make the ground look wet when it's raining. A little bit more wet than it does now. But we've been told that this promotions copy is very close to the final code. Although we have a few extra odds and ends in it, which won't be, I don't think will be in the release copy. Like we have some debug stuff in the menus. They're all in there, but you have to work a bit to get to them in the release. But and talking about that, some silly idiot found where they were putting their beta copies on, not the promotions copy, but the beta copy. Download it and put it up on another site. Can you credit it? So if you know where they're held, and I'm not going to say I've been told not to, if you happen to know where they are and you can't, you can still download them, I think, but if you can't actually get the thing to work now, you can blame the thief who decided to release seasons to all and sundry before the developers are ready. It's not the developers doing this, it's some bloody idiot. Excuse my language, but we're seeing so much of this just lately. Andy of GTX Modding has suffered a couple of 3 times with exactly the same thing. Stevie at the final straw made him retire early. So please folks, if you find it where a mod is and it isn't yours but it's not ready for release yet, For Pete's sake, don't show it up on your favourite pirated mod site. Just wait. It's caused quite a few modders to pack up. I know Andy of GTX Mods was very close to packing up. He'd had enough, but I think we at PCSG's Pro Term, there is another side to it. The ordinary people, the ordinary players, or I'd rather call you the extraordinary players who play for fun and play to the rules. I do mod some stuff myself, but I don't release it because I don't have the rights to release anything. And my mods are very, very simple. But if you haven't got the skill to mod, don't release other people's. It's stealing. Right, so this is a rant I had several times just recently. And I'm getting fed up with it. I bet you lot are too, but it all has to be said. We have some very talented people working on mods on this game. I'm actually surprised just how talented they are. Well, we'll take seasons ago, we've been talking about that. It's doing things I didn't think the engine was actually capable of. It's almost sitting up and begging and asks you to, then rolling over on its back and asks you to tickle its tummy. They got so much goodness out of it. And you can see with the wet does have an effect on this. It does make it a bit harder to make forward progress. I've got four-wheel driving, but I haven't got the diffs locked. I'd like to try this job I'm doing now on more realistic, actually, just to see if the wheel I don't think should be bouncing quite as quick as it is, not at 6 miles an hour. What we're doing, and there is quite a slope on this field. It doesn't look it, but there is. And because gearbox mod just take a little bit of power out of the tractor, but not as much as better fuel mod. Oh, it's a great idea, but all I want is the... I'm going to repeat what Disco's been saying. I don't want the full thing, I just want the display, which is what I got here, because I was lucky I held on to a very early copy. And I'm glad I did, because I at least have a display to tell me how much I'm using. Doesn't make any difference, because however I drive, well, I suppose if I was driving was full manual gearbox or the realistic gearbox, I could actually change the range I was in. And because I have to remember too that this is going to use a lot of juice, because it's not really a ploughing engine, the JCB, it's a speed engine. Just a little drink whilst I try and calm myself down from my rant. I'm just going to go out of the cab and get the end and see how long we've been going. Oh, we'll get a couple more passes done, that'll be it, and I'll try and finish this off. But what we're trying to put a snow mask on this map I'm going to be hopefully released. I should already have released a video on it by the time you see this. But I'm going to keep the interest higher for a start off. Trying to get snow mask on that, and then want to have a look at the Big Bud pack. Not that I think on most of my maps will work. You might get away with it on this map, but only really on a couple of free fields. Aldridge we never get it around. Well, that's more or less on 15 anyway. Blickling, marginal. You wouldn't get it through some of the gateways. What was we playing? Oh, Heritage, because that's way out for that. That's a bit too, even though it was built many years ago now. The one and only actual Big Bud. I'm trying to see what else I'm doing at the moment. You know, I've got a complete block. Blickling, Sosnovka, Heritage. There's two more there. Yes, they're both God. My memory, mind you, I was just, I'm still on. I'm about halfway through my course of antibiotics, and I'm still a little bit with them. Oh, and just some news that I'm not so happy about, but a mate of mine, Lord YT, young friend of mine, has stopped making videos on Farming Sim 17, but he is still making videos, but on a different channel. He's only got a small channel, but I quite enjoy watching him. And he's a great supporter of this channel, so just go along and just see his last one, and then see what you think of what he's going to be doing now on his second channel. I'm not saying it's my cup of tea, but that might just be for some of you. And I'd always suggest that rather than look at the big boys, I'm not going to mention any names, but look at some of the small channels. I know, I've just realised we've done no storyline whatsoever, except for the fact that I'm ploughing this up because it seemed a good thing to do. We'll give it another 5 minutes, I think. We should break the back of this, and it won't take too much to finish this up. We may just carry on. It depends on how my week goes. How much more other stuff I want to get done, because I'm also playing Motorsport Manager. I did try some videos on it. Frankly, I'm such a bad commentator, it was laughable. But with the GT pack they released a little while ago, I found my niche in life, and I'm finding out for the second tier championship. There's only 2 tiers in the closed wheelers in the GT championship. I'll find out for the team championship to get promotion to the top level, and we're also trying to get the overall champion driver. I may, if things are still tight for the last race, actually do a weekend special on the very last race of the season. So you've been warned. If you don't like that type of thing, that'd be one to miss. But especially you don't expect a Murray Walker type commentary, or not, and even worse than that, not even a good one. I like Murray. It's him and his father, Graham, used to do as commentaries for the TT races way back in the 60s, I think, 50s and 60s. And Graham, Murray's father, was a TT racer. For those who think, what the hell's he talking about? TT is Tourist Trophy motorcycle racing in the Isle of Man. 37 3/4 mile lap over ordinary roads, and by God I mean ordinary roads. I have driven that course. I used to go regularly in the 70s. I've ridden that course on a boat, and it's hard work. Like, I've done it in open traffic. It's just another quick look. Do another couple of passes. $143 litres an hour we're using at the moment. Ooh. You can almost hear it going out of the tank. Now we'll have to fill this up with juice, I think, once we've done this. Oh, that's one thing too. I updated the universal pack. The only thing is that wiped out all the stuff I already had, so I had to re-buy all that, refill everything, getting back to how it was. So I had fun and games this week. Oh, we might just finish this up. There's not a lot to do now. I sit to one side slightly because I've noticed in the past that the microphone will upset the light emitting diodes on the tracker, and the camera can't always pick them up then. So I tend to sit to one side. I'm a sloucher anyway. I think at school, yes, we had school when I was young. We used to learn about dinosaur farming in those days. It's not my happiest days in my life in school. Primary school was lovely. I went to a little village primary school. Excellent teachers. Nowadays a school like that with only 2 staff, so we had 2 classes, wouldn't be acceptable. That's when I went to the secondary school. Things went downhill. Oh, I hated every minute of it. And I don't think I'm that dumb. It wasn't because I'm dumb, it's just I just hated it. I'm not going to bother to tidy up the edges anymore, and we have already. If they're a bit rough, they're a bit rough. But actually, in fact, I should just, whilst we got this here, before we actually run, God, it's bringing in hard. Well, I'm going to come to one side on this. And I just got some notifications that people just start to play things. Marvellous. Just when you press the trigger, I want that up too, that's better. Keep forgetting to turn Steam notifications off. Yes, I use Steam, it's simple. and it keeps it up to date without me having to think about it. I have to say I prefer good old games, GOG. I prefer the way they do things, but they test all their games. Steam don't. The number of games I bought on Steam won't work on Win 10. Right, I'm going to take this back, and on the way back we will well, this ain't got to wash this now. We will do the right. We're coming home on the road, I think, this time. Alright, yes, I'm going to just like to thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. Helps me, helps the channel, makes me feel appreciated. Whoa, almost missed me turning. Actually, I went early. Did go early anyway. Yeah, I get lost. Never mind. I wouldn't have done that more realistic. I'd have turned at that speed. Right, now yes, I was just burbling on about helps me, helps the channel, makes me feel appreciated. If you're not a subscriber and were told you had to watch this channel for some reason or other, you lost a bet or whatever it was, and you actually liked it, how about subscribing? Won't cost you a penny, a dime, a sou, a yen or any other currency you care to mention, and I must probably miss most of them, some no longer exist. And I'll be happy to be your guide through my life in simulated farming. Whoa, stop. One thing I can't get used to is the fact that the brakes are not as good with gearbox mod mode. Oh, I'm coming fairly close to it. This is quite a tight squeeze in here. That'll do. Put the brake on, lower it, and get out, and let's unhook it. Horses are strange, but it goes right down in the ground like that. And that's actually lucky, because I think I've still got that on. Oops, still had that on Crate Field. Eee. Right, I'm going to go and fill this up, I think, before we do anything else. And on my way to fill this up, finally go in a forward direction. It's Mammon saying cheerio for now. Cheerio, and I haven't bought that flame and the fuel tank back, and yet I don't look like. That's something else I've got to do on the off times. Let's have a look. Did I? No, I didn't. So I'm going to have to magic some money in and buy those back. It's terrible when you have to update things. Right, anyway, with that I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. And Mammon said cheerio for now. Cheerio.